I wanted to jump on here to talk about the topic of doubt. And I hope this autumn is a season of clarity and confidence in your calling and in your next steps, that God is illuminating the path before you, and that He is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. And but there are seasons where we don't feel like that is our reality, where doubt is taking over, and that is what I wanted to talk with you about today. So it's a blog post I wrote that's called No Doubt About It. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever entertained doubt in your mind? It can be doubt about the future, doubt about your abilities, so it can be this debilitating self-doubt. It can be doubt about your relationships, your direction in life. Doubt can show up everywhere. And I know doubt comes up for me especially in waiting seasons. Big dreams and vision are awesome, and without them we perish and our heart grows sick if we don't have anything to wait and hope for. But in the in-between space of dream becoming reality, our minds can easily spin into, did God really say, and how will all this come about, and have I missed anything since this has not happened yet? Rarely will these kind of questions do our heart any good. And I know I can start reasoning myself into a downward spiral, and I can jump into conclusions on how my future will become a reality, and I can literally afflict my life with self-doubt about the seeming supposed gaps in my life. And I think Jesus wants to ask some of us, faint heart, what got into you? I know Jesus, He asked this question to Peter as he started to doubt, as he was sinking down into the water. He just so bravely walked out on to follow Jesus. So I want to ask you again, sweet, amazing, faint of heart you, what got into you? No matter what kind of doubt has taken hold of your heart, it's a gift for us that the topic of doubt is covered so many times in the Bible. We are not alone. And I wanted to touch on why it is important for us to deal with our doubt as well. And it is important because God promises us, His people, that we can triumph over huge obstacles, and there will be huge obstacles to life. We can triumph over them if we embrace this kingdom life and don't doubt Him. We'll be able to say to a mountain, go jump in the lake, and it will jump. Absolutely everything, ranging from small to large, as we make it a part of our believing prayer, gets included as we lay hold of God. It says in Matthew 21:21. The Bible makes it very clear as well that there is no doubt about that we have all messed up. But the good news is that the Bible leaves no room for doubt either about the extravagant grace available for us all every moment of every day. So I wanted us to look on 3 keys that can help us combat doubt when it starts to damage our day. And I'm trying to live this out myself as well. So I practice, first of all, simple trust. Jesus is appearing for the first time to the disciples in Luke 24, the first time after His resurrection. And despite the disciples' doubt, Jesus, He had been true to His word, and He was teaching them simple trust here. And it says, while they were saying all this, Jesus appeared to them and He said, peace be with you. They thought they were seeing a ghost and were scared half to death. He continued with them and He said, don't be upset, and don't let all these doubting questions take over. Look at my hands, look at my feet. It is really me. Touch me. Look me over from head to toe. So I want to ask you, have you done the one thing needed being in the nearness of Jesus where you can actually touch him, you can feel him. And I know he's not here with us physically anymore, but he is living on the inside of us. The Holy Spirit is dwelling there. And I believe it's with this simple decision, it's where when we are in his nearness that he can minister to our doubting hearts in the same way he did to the disciples. And he can say to you, he can whisper, don't be upset. Don't let all these doubting questions take over. So as we quit focusing on our limitations and start confidently trusting him who makes us able, there's no limit to how much God can strengthen us. Alright, and second point is wait and watch. When doubt arises, instead of acting on our doubt, let's wait and watch how God will come through. We might not see the bigger picture right now. I rarely do when I'm in the middle of a situation where doubt is taking over. But that is where we got to trust God's timing to reveal and illuminate our path. A delay does not mean denial. And Mark 9 tells us as well that there are no ifs among believers. Anything can happen. Therefore, watch in expectation what he will do. And it says that in Psalm 130, verse 7. Wait and watch for God. With God's arrival comes love. With God's arrival comes generous redemption. No doubt about it. He will redeem you. He has brought you back from captivity to sin. So also if it's redemption you're looking for, a recompense, a repayment for the things you're going through, some injustice, some unfair treatment, whatever it is, and even if it's your own sin, God is merciful and he wants to bring generous redemption. So don't doubt that either. Alright. And lastly, thirdly, ask for help. It says in Proverbs 9:7, if you reason with an arrogant cynic, you'll get slapped in the face, confront bad behavior, and get a kick in the shins. So don't waste your time on a scoffer. All you'll get for your pain is abuse. But if you correct those who care about life, that's different. They'll love you for it. So my point for reading this verse aloud for you is that sometimes I am the arrogant cynic who starts reasoning with myself about what's happening in my life. And as the proverb above plainly tells, I end up literally slapping myself in the face instead of receiving peace to my doubting, confused heart and mind. Reasoning by ourselves, according to this proverb, is not wise. We are called to trust and not always understand, and that's a hard one. So we don't come far by reasoning, we do come far by asking for help. So instead of trying to fight our doubts in our own strength by reasoning, we can be honest with our Father first of all. And it's okay to ask for help and say, I believe, help me with my doubts. And the same did a father in Mark 9 who doubted Jesus' ability to set his son free from a demon that had made him mute. And despite the father's doubt, God set his son free. So I think that's a key as well. God can still move in our life, even though our faith is not perfect, because it's not. But I really pray for you that you will know beyond doubt that God is with you and that you are part of God's dear flock, the flock of his pasture, his human flock. Practice simple trust, wait and watch for God, and ask him for help with your doubts. And I pray that the Master of Peace himself will grant you his robust peace. And no doubt about it, you can't stop doubt from defining your days. We are in this together, and I pray this blessed you. Have a great evening. Bye.